Lake Whatcom is a treasure worth protecting. It's the source of our drinking water, home to many species of animals, and a recreational center. Lake Whatcom is the largest lake in Whatcom County, and the watershed area that drains into the lake is over 56 square miles. The lake itself is 10 miles long and 1 mile across at its widest point. The watershed is a changing landscape. Large-scale logging began over 100 years ago, and logging continues today. Towering trees over 20 feet in diameter were a common part of the landscape. The trees and thick duff layer of the forest floor served as giant sponges, intercepting and soaking up rainwater, leaving little to flow downhill into Lake Whatcom. The loss of these old-growth forests weakens the protective armor that keeps water and pollution from flowing into the lake. The large amount of residential development that has occurred over the past 60 years, especially in the northern part of the watershed, is changing the landscape as well. Homes, driveways, roads, and other hard surfaces aren't able to absorb rainwater like the trees they replaced. Instead, large amounts of water flow across these surfaces, picking up pollutants and carrying them to drainage systems that feed into the lake. After decades of conversion of forests to residential neighborhoods, water quality concerns became more noticeable in the early 1960s. The city started a water quality monitoring program in partnership with Western Washington University in 1988. The university collects and analyzes monthly water quality samples from both Lake Whatcom and the streams that flow into the lake. Regular monitoring found two primary water quality problems. First, too much fecal bacteria from human and animal waste in streams flowing into the lake. And second, too little dissolved oxygen in portions of the lake during the summer to support fish and other aquatic life. What causes low oxygen in Lake Whatcom? The simple answer is phosphorus, through a process called eutrophication. Phosphorus is a naturally occurring element essential for life, but when too much phosphorus flows into Lake Whatcom, it promotes excess algae growth. When algae die, they sink to the bottom of the lake and decompose. Oxygen is used up in the decomposition process, resulting in little to no oxygen available to support fish and other life in portions of the lake. Residential sources of phosphorus include lawns, fertilizers, dirt washing away during construction projects, leaves, grass and other yard debris, pet waste, soap, and detergent. These concerns triggered federal Clean Water Act requirements to develop a cleanup plan for Lake Whatcom, which was published in 2016. Local governments follow this plan closely to reduce the amount of phosphorus and other pollutants in stormwater runoff flowing into the lake. Some cleanup strategies in the plan include building stormwater treatment facilities on publicly owned property that capture, filter, and clean stormwater runoff before it reaches Lake Whatcom, preserving land in its natural forested condition through land purchase, conservation easements, and habitat restoration, and engaging homeowners to limit phosphorus runoff from their own private property by participating in the Lake Whatcom Homeowner Incentive Program, also known as HIP. The Homeowner Incentive Program is one way watershed homeowners can reduce phosphorus pollution from their property. HIP is a voluntary program and provides technical support and financial reimbursement to homeowners interested in improving their property and protecting Lake Whatcom. Native plants, special soils, and thoughtful water flow are used to mimic forests by absorbing, filtering, and cleaning stormwater runoff before it reaches the lake. Collectively, HIP homeowners take small steps to make a big positive impact on Lake Whatcom water quality. The Lake Whatcom Homeowner Incentive Program helps homeowners install a variety of water quality improvement projects. You can learn which projects are available for your property by entering your address into the HIP website at lakewhatcomhip.org. All watershed properties are eligible for native landscaping. You can add interest to your landscape by adding a variety of native plants and mulch to your yard. HIP also supports additional features as part of your native landscaping project, including temporary wildlife protection, edging materials, rain barrels, and temporary irrigation systems. Some properties drain directly into the lake, streams, or have extra large lawns and developed areas. These properties have a larger impact on lake water quality and may qualify for more complex projects, including infiltration trenches, Lake Whatcom rain gardens, and underground pollution filters. Infiltration trenches are a good option if your property has soils that have good drainage. Downspouts can be directed into an infiltration trench filled with drain rock. The water enters the trench and soaks into the ground, much like a forested system. You can add decorative features on top. Rain gardens are another option for properties with well-draining soils. HIP rain gardens are specially designed to help limit the flow of phosphorus into the lake. The native plants are small to start with, but given time, will fill in to provide a beautiful landscape feature in your yard. Underground filters are another type of HIP project that might be a good option for your property. Underground filters are like a large water filter buried in your yard. Water runoff from your property is directed into special filter material, which cleans the water before it exits the system and flows downstream toward the lake. These filters can be placed under a beach or sited upland on your property. One type of underground filter, the post filter, uses special filter material developed by the City of Bellingham that significantly increases the effectiveness and speed of filtration. These filters have a smaller footprint and are more suitable for small yards with large areas of hard surfaces, like driveways and roofs. Whatever projects you decide to install, know that your efforts are making a durable and lasting contribution to improved water quality in Lake Whatcom. Is HIP right for you? The Lake Whatcom watershed is filled with homeowners who want to take care of the lake for our community just like you do. Let's learn more about HIP to make sure it's a good fit for you and your property. HIP staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure your project is a success. Keep in mind that HIP is a voluntary program and cannot be used to satisfy requirements for a building permit. All projects must meet a minimum project size to ensure your efforts protect the lake. For native landscaping projects, at least 25% of the lawn area must be converted to native landscaping. All other project types must treat at least 25% of the developed area of your property, including your lawn, home, patios, and driveways. Note that HIP staff will help you determine your minimum project size. You pay project costs upfront and then apply for reimbursement after your project is complete. Your reimbursement budget is $1.30 per square foot of area improved. HIP will only reimburse expenses made after your project is permitted and approved. Reimbursable expenses include both material and labor, though reimbursement amounts vary depending on the type of project you are doing. Please note that property improvements that don't provide a water quality benefit, such as patios and retaining walls, are not reimbursable through HIP. Staff will help you understand which expenses are reimbursable and which expenses fall outside the program. To ensure long-lasting benefits of your project, we ask that you sign a notarized maintenance agreement at the end of your project when you submit your reimbursement paperwork. In this partnership agreement, you pledge to take care of your project to keep it working well. In exchange for routine upkeep, you are eligible for assistance with long-term maintenance needed for your project to protect the lake for future generations. How are reimbursement budgets calculated? In this example, native landscaping is added to several locations on this property. There's a backyard planting area, a front yard planting area, and a planting area in the right-of-way, totaling 3,450 square feet. The area improved multiplied by the $1.30 per square foot equals a total reimbursement budget of $4,485. You don't have to spend the entire amount, of course, but this is the maximum reimbursement for this project. To begin the HIP process, visit the HIP website to learn about your project options. When you search your address at lakewhatcomhip.org, you can see which HIP projects are most effective for your property. Watch the program videos, view resources on the HIP website, and sign up for a site visit. Staff will answer your questions and provide more information. They will discuss project options suitable for your property and give recommendations for you to consider. Choose your property improvements and submit an application. HIP staff will work with you to complete the application paperwork. Applications are submitted to the City of Bellingham and take about 3 weeks to process. You will receive an email approving your HIP project. HIP staff will help you find resources and provide directions on how to install your project. You can also develop a plan to complete your project and get reimbursed in phases to help manage cash flow. Schedule a final inspection and submit your reimbursement request. HIP staff are here to help you submit your reimbursement paperwork to the City of Bellingham. Once approved, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for your check to arrive in the mail. The last step is to maintain your HIP project. You will receive directions on how to maintain your project in the HIP maintenance agreement. For example, new plants in a native landscaping project require water and protection from wildlife. If you run into problems or have any questions, HIP staff are always here to help you. Typically, maintenance is more intensive in the first couple of years and then reduces over time. Are you ready to become a HIP homeowner? Take the next step to a cleaner Lake Whatcom. Sign up for a site visit at lakewhatcomhip.org.